Alliance. Contact Steve today at 241-2833 or visit him at 7021 West Highway 22 in Crestwood. Steve Jones and Kentucky Farm Bureau, the folks to know because you never know.
C&W Automotives wants to keep you moving toward the finish line with our free 21-point inspection. C&W Automotives has trained technicians providing full-service care for all makes and models. C&W Automotives, 6701 West Highway 22 in Crestwood.
We're about 19 minutes away from kickoff. Along with Andy Carrick, I'm Mike Montgomery here with you on the Pegasus Sports Network. Oldham County against Fern Creek. Last week, interesting game for Oldham County. They evened their record, and, of course, any coach will tell you there is no such thing as a bad win. But, Andy, last week what we did see from this team was a little bit of sputtering on offense, maybe not too totally surprising considering, one, it was only the second game of the year, and two, the preseason, the practice time was really thrown into chaos.
Well, and the other big thing, I guess, that kind of we touched on and more so on the game that we covered last week between North and South is when you come off an emotionally high game of where they open their season against their, cross-county rival, been going on for, 30-some years, 40-some years, whatever it is now, when they played South, then you have to try to carry that emotion over to a Campbell County team that you're not really familiar with, you don't know a lot about, you're let down from an unbelievably frustrating loss. And a lot of times that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for bad things to happen. And, again, I didn't see the game, but based on the stat line, it looks like there was a lot of struggles with the offense, which has not been the case for Oldham County the last couple of years. But the defense, it answered the call. It stood strong. It did exactly what we needed, what Oldham County needed, so that they would have the opportunity to win the game. And ultimately, end of the day, like you said, there's no such thing as a bad loss, but there is a concerning loss. And I think this was kind of concerning, just because you're expecting the talents of Sam Young, right? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sorry.
What's his name?
Yeah, no. For some reason, I want to call him Jacob, but I knew that wasn't right. But you have this talented kid, and Sam Young, who's a junior. He's had this incredible year as a sophomore. The weight of the world is essentially on his shoulders, and my fear is that that's getting to him a little bit mentally, and it's not allowing him to play football and just let the kid play football. My hope is we'll see that tonight, because generally when you have great opponents, you see great players do great things, and I fully expect to see Sam and company move the ball and be much more productive this week against this Fern Creek team.
Yeah, this is you're talking about a young man who hit as a sophomore last year on over 65% of his passes. Coming into tonight, just 30 of 58, just barely over 50%. And more interceptions than touchdowns, which is extremely rare for this young man. You got to think that he's just getting his feet under him in this young season.
Absolutely, and I would not be surprised at all. Again, my opinion is this is not going to be a close game. It's going to be a blowout one way or another. I don't think it's going to be competitive. I just, like I said, I am firmly set on the ground of Oldham County wins by a bunch or Fern Creek wins by a bunch. So I feel like the first couple drives are going to tell us a lot. But if Sam gets his feet underneath him, like you said, and he can loosen up and he can let it go and do what he does and do what he did all last season, I genuinely think that Oldham County is going to come out on the positive side of this and win by 12, 14, 18 points and do it impressively. If not, I think that's going to be the exact opposite.
Just 11 of 19 last week, under 100 yards. Didn't throw a pick, nor did he throw a touchdown. But Sam also did something which we've been really enjoyed watching, because he's very exciting with his feet.
Yes.
73 yards to lead the team on the ground last week, but unfortunately Oldham County under 200 yards in total offense. Now defensively, you talked about picking up the slack. How about the linebackers, Bruner and Stratton?
Dude, those are my guys. We talked about them week one. Ed and I think I like Bruner. Ed really likes Stratton. And, buddy, all I can say is we can pick them. If I'm not mistaken, 12 tackles apiece. And anytime you have a couple linebackers that are able to do that and run sideline to sideline and control the other team's rushing game, especially a team that kind of like what we're going to see in Fern Creek tonight, that's always something that, as a coach, it makes you smile. And it knows, in theory, you should not see a lot of busted plays with guys from Fern Creek taking off for 40, 50, 60-yard runs like we saw last year.
Yeah, and Stratton coming into tonight's game through just 2 games now.
Yep.
24 total tackles, 12 solo. Also had a couple of sacks last week against Campbell County. Bruner, not a bad start himself. Had 12 tackles last week, has 17 on the season. So those two really setting the standard for this. We knew, though, that the linebacker core was going to be the strength of this defense, though.
Yeah, because it had the majority of the returning players from last year, the guys that understood the system, knew how it worked, all that stuff. The one guy that has really impressed me, though, is Avonte Johnson. I know that the stat line doesn't scream, hey, this is like I'm doing all these great things, but if you watch this kid, he literally does his job every play. And the reason that I personally feel like that's very important is when every player on a football team does their job, you see a thing of beauty. You see 11 guys working collectively to do what was designed to help you win a game. And anytime you can have that happen, I feel like you're in good shape. And like I said, it's great to watch. And this kid is the epitome of that. And I wish he'd have been able to be here for all 4 years instead of just a senior year.
Yeah, well, and what's impressive also is when you're in a 3-4 defense, Andy, when you're actually talking about a defensive lineman, because really most 3-4s are designed for those guys who just occupy blocks, and they just don't accumulate stats.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like he helps Stratton are getting their, 7 to 12 to 14 tackles. Different spots in the line and things of that, and all the defensive linemen are doing that. Like I'm just picking him because again he seems like a good shot in the arm for a D line that was good last year, but appears to be a little more impressive this year.
They'll be facing a Fern Creek team tonight. That let's face it, Andy. I don't know how they do it down there. Every year you're talking about the speed of this school. The Tigers every year are scary, dangerous, and it's true again tonight. Bluegrass Preps has Fern Creek ranked number 8 in 6A, and the scary thing about them is if these guys can get to the edge on you, it's sayonara.
I'll tell you what, and I don't know how many of our listeners have been following us for several years, but I think it was either 2 or 3 years ago we were out at Shelby County. And we watched the Shelby County team, and they had 2 kids on their team that both finished in the top 3 in the state in the 100 and 200 for track. Visually, there's 3 kids on this Fern Creek team right now that we're watching warm up that are every bit as fast or faster than either one of those guys. And I'm telling you now, if Oldham County doesn't secure the edge and make good tackles and play fundamental defense, these kids are going to have a field day up and down this field. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So I just hope that they're prepared for that. I hope that they maintain, do their job, break down, make good tackles, and for the love of goodness, set the edge so that they cannot get outside.
Yeah, head coach there is Josh Abel in his 7th year as the head coach at Fern Creek, and he talks about this offense. He calls it hodgepodge, and generally when a coach tells you that, you can translate it this way: we're going to come up with a play that finds a way to get these athletes open in space.
Generally, what my experience with that is that it's not even really a play. It's we're going to give such and such the ball, and he's going to run right.
Feed the stud.
We're going to give such and such the ball, they're going to run left. And and again, they've got a couple of studs, if that's the term we're going to use. Terence Mitchell. Last year, 5 carries, 183 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's a guy you want to have touching the ball. Like there's no doubt about it. That's the guy you want touching the ball. Anthony Teague, 143 yards last year. I mean, like these are 2 guys that are still around. They're still here. We want to give that's going to be hodgepodge. We figure out a way to get those guys the ball, whether it's short pass, handoff, triple option, whatever, lateral, hook and ladder, whatever. Just let's get these guys the ball. And I feel like that's the kind of offense we're going to see tonight is you just don't know what you're going to see.
Yeah, primarily a run-first team. They're going to run some you'll see some wing tee tonight. You'll see some pistol. They'll run option out of the pistol. Now, defensively, this is going to be a 4-4 base defense. And, they're pretty high on, well, when you look at some of the returnees, a lot of the returnees are the linebackers or the defensive back. And a lot of these are some of those premier athletes you were talking about a minute ago.
Well, generally again, and I'm no like wonder coach or anything like that, but I do know that generally you take your 2 or 3 fastest guys you can find, you want them in skill positions on the offense. Everybody else with speed in high school sports are either going to be a linebacker or somebody in the secondary. And when you have, I believe, 5 starters coming back in those positions, you're going to have people that are very good at what they do. So, like I said, I would fully expect
Henry County last year only 1-9 on the season.
And get the running game going. Like I said, they had the running game going last week with the Austin Gibson. And I think that's going to be the key to this. They got the ground.
One thing I looked at Roger was the JTL game, and looking back, they spread the ball. Coach's notes, he says they brought pass us. So the fact that they've got 5 guys that could become
competition.
Well, and I'm talking with Tyler. Tyler, our cameraman. Welcome, Tyler. Appreciate you being here tonight. So, talking to him earlier, counting the players, and I think Wagner's got maybe 27, 28 players here. North's got 35, 38. So, like I said, I guarantee Wagner's going to want that clock to keep going. They don't want this to be a 2-hour game. They're going to want to get it in and get out. So that might be another reason they're going to keep it on the ground and keep that clock going.
COVID has made everything in it because, as I understand it, they've had to set their rosters this year. So your varsity, you have to say these are my varsity players, and you can't mix them. You can't bring them. You can't dress everybody on Friday night like we've done here in the past. And that does have a big impact because in a given position, you've already named who's in that position, and if 2 guys go down, you're down to number 3 real quickly.
That's a very good point. Again, like I said, it's just been a weird year with everything that's happened. So I'm just absolutely fantastic that we're out here getting to watch a game. Hopefully there's a lot of fans online watching. And don't forget that you can upgrade to the HD version. So we appreciate
instrumental. And
do that. We're working with the schools to turn that into a little bit of a fundraiser for them. So some of the proceeds from the HD package will go back to the Oakland County schools. So we appreciate everybody that will take advantage of that and help the schools out, especially in this kind of year. Football is one of the revenue sports that usually helps all the other ones. And I think Mike had mentioned there's only allowed to have 350 people. And so like I said, concession money, gate money, so anything that you can do.
Or visit him at 7021 West Highway 22 in Crestwood. Steve Jones and Kentucky Farm Bureau, the folks to know.
Sports wants to be a part of that, so that's why we're hoping to try to get back to school.
It is a tough year. I talked to Joe Ritchie a lot of South Florida. It's a struggle this year, just figuring out, first of all, how to organize the stands so that you can practice and social distance. Whether you believe in that or don't believe in that, it's something they have to do.
I know my son, like I said, goes to South, went back to school this week, so I'm glad to get him out of the house, nothing else. So, like I said, it's just something, another thing with all these coaches and everybody has to do. We're about 6 minutes away, so we'll take another break, get into our sponsors here, back to the get ready to kick off and bring the ball in.
School principal.
Go 40-88 and ask for Jennifer to get you scheduled for a touchdown. C&W Automotive, 6701 West Highway 22 in Crestwood.
Baptist Health Crestwood on Kentucky 329 is conveniently located approximately 1 mile from I-71. Baptist Health Crestwood offers outpatient physical therapy and diagnostic imaging services, including x-rays, CAT scans, digital mammography, and DXA bone density scanning. The facility also houses the offices of Baptist Medical Associates Crestwood. For more information, visit baptistcrestwood.com.
Stop by Champion Chevrolet GMC and take advantage of the modern uniform bands. Receive 50% in 20 Equinox, Sonic, Trax, and Spark. 10% on the 2020 Colorado and Suburban. Say goodbye to paying for gas. Check out the Bolt for just $349 on the sign drive. You can even buy online and shop champion.com or give us a call at 502-222-9477. And remember, no one beats a champion.
Let C&W Automotives keep you on the field with our touchdown oil change special and suspension check. Call C&W Automotives today at 220-4088 and ask for Jennifer to get you scheduled for a touchdown. C&W Automotive, 6701 West Highway 22 in Crestwood.
As you work together for almost 75 years.
So Easton Messer here only for 2 games, but already the most yards for this team and set a Christian Academy record with 10 receptions last week in the game against Mercer County.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, and he's definitely one I'm looking for tonight to really just continue to capitalize on the season that he's had. I know he battled some injuries prior to the season, and it's just good to see him in an early early flow this early in the season.
So Henry County won the tip and deferred, we have heard, and so the Centurions will be receiving. So, Draper, you got just enough time to give us your keys to the game tonight, man.
Yes, keys to the game tonight. You know, for the Centurions, they're going to have to limit the penalties. You know, they had several penalties last week in the game, but they're very critical, you know, in a close game. So we do that, and offensively, I think if we establish the run and get that ground game going, that's going to be the key to victory there. And for the defense, you know, they have a quarterback who likes to throw the ball a lot, so you're going to have to keep him in the pocket and just force him to make some bad throws tonight. And I think that's what will get it done. And special teams-wise, an opportunity there to really add some solidifying extra points after they're able to get it in the end zone, and it just makes for a great game.
Braden Babin, 39 tackles on the season, 18 last week against Mercer County, so he'll be keying that defense for the Centurions. Back for Centurions going to be Gage, Guerin, and I believe Messer. That is a Messer, or no, yeah, Messer back there along with Guerin. Soto is the kicker for the Henry County team, Michael Soto, and he is ready to kick off as he sets the ball up at the 40-yard line. And we are about ready to go. This game is underway. It's a low line drive kick that Guerin can take after 2 hops. He comes up. He's across the 30. He's got a hole on the right side. Couple men to beat. Soto's going to grab him. Slows him down just enough. A great Duke move by Guerin. He's going to do it again.
Well, hey, I just talked about one of the keys to the game is just making sure you start the game strong, and special teams will have an impact. First play of the game, put 6 on the board. What a way to start.
Guerin has done it again. His second kickoff return of the year, an 85-yard kickoff return for the touchdown, and Centurions quickly on the board 6-0.
Yeah, total team effort. I kept my eyes purposely on that front line with the blocking. They got a hat on a hat and really made some nice holes, and you see the end result.
Kick by Cornett is up, and the kick is good. And Centurions, 11:47 to go in the first quarter, jump out to a 7th lead, and that's starting out rather quickly.
Oh, yeah. Those are always good things to come, and as a coach, you tell the team, hey, we need to start the game, but we got to keep our foot on the gas the entire game. We got to keep that momentum going.
So I'm going to Gage Guerin is unbelievable on kickoff returns and punt returns. Is that just from an idea of where you're going to go to start out, or is that just a vision of seeing what you see and hitting that hole quickly?
Yeah, the best return guys are usually have great vision. They can see the field. They don't make those predetermined decisions on where they're going to go, and that's what I see in a guy like him.
Well, I'll tell you, he's coming to that right sideline, and Soto, the kicker, I thought was going to push him out, and he failed in getting him out of bounds on a great move by Guerin, but then I thought it slowed him up just enough for the other guy to came, and what a change of pace move Guerin put on the guy.
It is, and as someone that's trying to tackle a running that's coming full steam ahead, oftentimes your momentum and your vision and seeing that sideline, it's a little bit off, and you kind of misjudge your progression toward the ball carrier, and it looks like that's what they did.
Anthony Bates, Kevin Wicks, and Blake Cole back for Henry County as Cornett approaches the ball, and he's going to put it in the air, and it's going to be going. I believe that is Cole on the far side, takes it at the 15. He's going to get up to about the 27-yard line before he's brought down by a number of Centurions. Leading the charge was McCade Batcher, and that was Kevin Wicks, the wide receiver back, and Henry County will start their first possession of the game on the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like a shortstop right there. The ball just bounced off the turf and right in his hands, and he took off. So nice play by the Centurions there, making sure there were no additional yardage after he received the kickoff.
Ball spotted at the 29, Royalty in the shotgun to his right. And looks like the Centurions are going to be jumping off sides, and there's the penalty bugaboo on the first play.
Yeah, again, you hate those penalties. As a defensive guy myself, it looks like they're prepared to bring a lot of pressure, as I talked about before the game, right up the middle of the field, and really just let them know that they're here and they're going to be there all night from a linebacker perspective.
Make it 1st and 5 now for Wildcats. Set up 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for County. Royalty in the shotgun. He's going to hand off to Bates. Tries to go off the right side. Has a little bit of running room. Gets out to about the 37-yard line before he's brought down. Let me see if I can grab a number here. Brought down by Gage Guerin. Make it a 3-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 2 for Henry County. Ball at the 37-yard line. Royalty up, put on the handoff. Royalty held onto it just a little bit too long and fumbled it on the ground, but recovered by Royalty. That's going to make it 3rd and 3, make it a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, great pressure. Doing some really good techniques with the Cal 3-down lineman there, getting pressure up the middle of the field, and a lot of times that's forcing the runners to keep their eyes on where that pressure is coming from and use sight of the handle of the football.
3rd and 3, Royalty is going to keep, tries to go to the right side. He's going to be met and brought down about 2 yards shy of the first down. You know, Royalty does not look like a runner. He looks like a drop back passer. He's a big boy.
He is, and he has a lot of high, so I figure they go for here, particularly on this 4th down early on, and just try to see if they could do.
It's going to be 4th and 1. I can kind of see him going up the middle on a sneak. Boy, he took that ball out to the right side, trying to go around it.
He did. And on short yardage run plays, you're always hear your quarterback to see if you can't, if the play is designed to go up the middle, just the field, work your way around the line and find the hole and just get up the field and get as many yards as you possibly can.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Royalty's going to keep again, go up the middle. Centurions were thinking that's what's going to happen, and he is brought down. All over him on that one was Jacob, and that's going to be turnover and down to Centurions.
Yeah, you almost coming, Mike. You know, quarterback up to the sideline. Coach is probably asking him, hey, we got a short yardage situation. Can you punch it in for us? This is you put it in my hands, allow me to make the and the Centurions simply responded and stopped him as he tried to go up the middle for a short yard gain.
So Centurions take over with great field position, 37-yard line. Double tight ends in on the right side now in Parr and Duke. Masters under center. He's going to hand off to Babin. Babin across the right side. He's across the 30. He's across the 25. Finally brought down and pushed out of bounds. Down at the 22-yard line, Colin Nell with the tackle. A nice run by Babin, though.
Yeah, the thing I like about Babin, he saw the hole, took it, but how he finished the run is what I really like. He lowered his shoulder, and he wanted to have impact with the defender.
1st and 10 on the 22-yard line. Masters in a shotgun this time. Messer splits out to the left. Guerin on the right. Play action. Masters rolling to his left. Nobody to throw to. He's going to keep it, and he's going to get about 3 yards before he's brought down on the far side by Anthony Bates.
Yeah, the offensive line did a really good job of holding their blocks, and I think what Master saw is that he's been really aggressive in Henry County, coming upfield, not taking a really good angle, and an opportunity to roll out, get in the open field, and see where you can make a play down the field. He just decided to tuck it, run it, and just live for the next down.
Picked up 2 yards. Will be 2nd and 8 for the Centurions. Guerin goes left this time. To the right goes Messer. Masters goes back under center this time. Play action again. He's going to throw to the right. He's got a man open. It is going to be Andrew Dupes all the way down to the 4-yard line, make it a 16-yard gain. 1st down.
Got a flag here, right side of the field, looks like. So we'll see what that is.
Coming back. That's usually in a holding spot. Nope, illegal procedure on the Centurions. So cancel that pass and make a 5-yard penalty against the Centurions. Their 2nd penalty of the evening.
Yeah, and we talked about this keys to the game, trying to limit those mistakes and penalty. You got great momentum on that play, and now you lose that yardage based on the penalty.
So it's 2nd and 13 instead of a 1st down at the 4. A great design play. It just penalty brought it back.
Absolutely.
Double backfield now. The Babin brothers back there. Masters under center. Play action again. He's looking to the right side. He's got his man. That is Gage Guerin. Breaks 1 tackle. Finally thrown out of bounds about the 15-yard line. Bastian Lamonis on the tackle. It's going to be a couple of yards short of the 1st down. Make it 2 yards short. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Centurion. A ball 19-yard line.
Interesting there that the defense is playing a soft zone in the middle of the field and man-man on the outside with the wide receivers. So a nice pitch there by the Centurions.
Double backfield again. Messer and Guerin both to the left side. Hand off to Babin. Man, just followed a huge block there by Ethan Naughton. Got behind the sophomore. Picked up the 1st down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. He's protecting the ball, and he's keeping his legs moving. Those extra.
Messer comes out. Andrew Dupes back into the game. We have 7:39 in the 1st quarter. 7-0 Christian Academy. If you're just joining us, Gage Guerin with an 85-yard kickoff return on the opening kickoff And Centurions threatening again, 1st and goal from the 10. Guerin splits out to the left. Play action. Lob into the end zone, out of the outstretched hands of Will Parr. He was quadruple teamed over there, but had an opening, and Masters put it where only he could get to it, but incomplete pass.
Yeah, Henry County put some additional pressure on that short yardage to kind of make Masters have to make a really quick decision, and looks like they were successful in doing so, but I still think there's an opportunity there on the outside of that man-to-man coverage.
They get 2nd and goal from the 10 for the Centurions.
And I like the game plan so far with the Centurions. It's been a great mix of run and pass, and they're continuing to move the ball for positive yardage.
Guerin split out to the left, Master on the short side to the right, ball at hash mark. Guerin takes a snap, play action. Good block by Babin across the middle, overthrows his intended target, going for Will Parr again. And so now it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 10.
Yeah, the receivers are really good, getting good separation from the defenders, and those passes are there. But kudos to Henry County. They're getting pressure on Connor Masters and having him just throw the ball just a little bit earlier than he probably would like to, and not having the opportunity to get his feet really set and finish the play. So we'll see. I got to imagine they're going to continue to bring pressure on this end of the field.
Aaron and Masters split to the left. Masters rolls to his left. Looking, nowhere to throw. He's going to keep it. Get to the 5 before he's brought down on the far side of the field. Brought down by Trenton Hardy. So it's going to be 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Boy, a lot of men in coverage for Henry County. Still get one guy through, putting pressure on Masters.
Yeah, they are. They're just trying to keep them bottled up, and they're taking a gamble. They're leaving the outside just open, and it's allowing Connor Masters to get outside and either tuck and run, or just see if he sees anyone downfield.
4th and goal. Centurions going for from the 5-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Master in the shotgun with Babin next to him. In motion goes Guerin. Master rolls to the right, looking. He sees an opening. He's following his block, buries his head. Touchdown, Masters!
Nice.
I did not see who had the key block there, but he got right behind, I believe it was Noah. He got right behind him, put his hand on him, and just guided him to the end zone.
It's very methodical drive there for the Centurions. And what I think Coach Cantwell saw is, like on those previous 2 plays, Henry County was playing sort of a soft zone, and it looks like they've been coached to kind of just stay back and kind of Masters to say, if you're going to sit, I'm going to take advantage of it and use my legs and score.
Garnett extra point is good, and with 6:09 to go in the first quarter, Centurions go up 14-0.
Christian Academy of Louisville wishes to thank our athletic trainer from Norwich Sports Health and Court, the official sports medicine and rehabilitation providers for the Centurions. We would also like to thank Dr. Schaefer with Ellis in Badenhausen for volunteering his time at tonight's game. Norwich Sports Health offers the area's most comprehensive sports health program, from concussion management to orthopedics to mental performance. To learn more about how Norwich Sports Health can help you play harder for longer, visit norwichsportshealth.com.
A 9-play drive by the Centurions that covered 3 minutes and 33 seconds, 37 yards, ending in that 5-yard run by Connor Masters.
Yeah, and if you're the Centurions coaching staff, you're praising those kids for coming out and really executing on the play calls, but you're reminding them we have to make sure we cut down on the penalties. 3
men deep again, and Wicks is going to take it, fumbles it. Ball is going to roll back to the 11 before he picks it up. Tries to break free, but he is going to go nowhere. And on the tackle, number 22, number 5, that's Zachary Agee and McCade Batcher again. Second time we've called Batcher's name tonight on that special teams.
Yeah, Batcher is all over the place on special teams tonight.
So we have 6:01 to go here in the first quarter. Henry County had to turn over on downs deep in their territory, the first set of downs. They'll take over this time on their own 18-yard line. Two receivers left, one to the right. Royalty in that shotgun is going to hand off to Bates. Bates slowed down in the backfield, and then a couple of Centurions come up to bring him down. I believe that was Gavin Copenhaver finally with the tackle.
Yeah, some interesting play calls for Henry County. You look at coming into the games, Sam Royalty has thrown the ball pretty well. And the last 3 plays, they decided to put the ball on the ground.
Bates has run the ball for 360 yards this year. Royalty has thrown it for 302. Royalty has not run a lot this year. Make it 2nd and 10. Here comes a blitz. Royalty back to pass. He's going to be pressured, and he's going to be brought down. I thought it was a fumble at first, but he is brought down. Will Parr with the pressure brings him down. I don't know where they're going to place it. It looked like he finally went down at the 2, but they're going to say forward progress stopped at the 8. That's a pretty big difference.
That is a pretty big difference there.
But nice sack by Will Parr. It's going to be 3rd and long from the 8-yard line. In fact, make it 3rd and 20 for the Wildcats. And the Cal defense has come to play tonight.
They have. They've definitely come to play, and those 3 down linemen there are making sure that they stay and stick to when the ball is snapped, those offensive linemen, seeing where the ball's going and allow the linebackers to come and take advantage of those holes.
Hand off to Bates, and he is going to get about a yard on that. Will Parr getting up from the pile.
And what you like to see as the Centurion defensive coach, there's so many red jerseys around the football at the sound of the whistle. So you preach that in practice. Everybody needs to be part of it. And that's what I'm continuously seeing on tonight.
So end of punt for Henry County is Michael Soto, the man who also does the kicking. Gage Guerin is going to set up at the Henry County 40. Low snap. Soto gets it off. It is a short kick, and it's going to hit at the 30. It's going to roll to the 35, and Henry County is going to finally down it at the 39-yard line. So Centurions have had field possession at the 37 and now the 39 of Henry County. So great field possession again for the Centurions.
Inspiration can come from anywhere. Greek islands, Mediterranean markets, or mom's kitchen. That's exactly where Tzatziki's has discovered some of the most innovative dishes yet. Their recipe for creating the deliciously unexpected is simple. Wholesome ingredients with a dash of inspiration. Join Tzatziki's for lunch or dinner any day of the week, and visit Tzatziki's restaurant in Middletown and St. Matthews, or order off the Tzatziki's app for curbside pickup.
I highly recommend Tzatziki's. I love their inspiration and their great food. 1st and 10 on the 40 is where it's set up. Masters going to throw on 1st down, going to go long. He lets it fly. He's got a man, and it's going to be touchdown. Easton Messer, we talked about him, how he is coming into his own with this team, and he goes and catches a 40-yard touchdown pass from Connor Masters.
What a great 1-2 punch there. He put it right where he can lay out and make sure he secured the catch ahead of the defender. Another 6 points on the board.
He had at least 5 yards on those defenders.
He did. Sure, the coaches saw something in those previous drives. Say, why not? First down, let's go forward and see if we can take advantage of what the defense is giving us.
Cornett in for the kick. Kick is up. Kick is good. And with 3:31 to go in the first quarter, Centurions go up 21-0.
Great first couple of series for the Centurions. Now you're thinking defensively, we got to go out, we get another stop, and we can just really take the win out of this team and just make sure that we